if I told you that some of the most insane, over-the-top, and downright ridiculous vehicles ever built have rolled through Rednecks with Paychecks? We're talking about trucks so massive they barely fit on trailers, engines so powerful they shake the ground, and builds so extreme they defy logic. This is more than just off-roading. This is engineering gone wild, where creativity meets horsepower in the most chaotic way possible. Today, we're diving deep into the craziest, most legendary builds to ever hit the mud at Rednecks with Paychecks. These aren't your average lifted trucks. These are machines that push the limits of what's possible in off-road mayhem. To understand why these builds are so insane, you have to know what makes Rednecks with Paychecks different. Unlike a normal off-road park, this event is designed to be extreme. The mud holes are deeper, the jumps are bigger, and the competitions are ruthless. To survive here, a truck can't just be good, it has to be next level. Some of these vehicles cost as much as a house, with high-powered engines, monster-sized tires, and custom-built suspension systems that can take an absolute beating. So let's start with one of the most famous builds to ever dominate Rednecks with Paychecks, the E-Dog mega mud truck known as Mudzilla. This beast isn't just lifted, it's towering over everything in sight. Built with a custom suspension that allows it to float over even the deepest pits, Mudzilla features 80-inch tires, a supercharged big block engine that cranks out over 200 horsepower, and a frame so reinforced it could probably survive an apocalypse. This truck is an icon of the event, showing up year after year and proving that when it comes to mudding, bigger really is better. But Mudzilla isn't the only monster roaming these fields. There's another legend, the twin-turbo diesel beast, called Black Smoke Monster. Unlike most builds that go for high-revving gas engines, this one relies on brute diesel torque. Equipped with twin turbos, massive injectors, and an exhaust system that spits out clouds of thick black smoke, this truck doesn't just power through mud, it obliterates it. What makes it insane is the sheer weight of the build. Normally, a truck this heavy would sink, but thanks to an insanely well-designed suspension and massive paddle tires, it somehow keeps going, leaving behind a trail of destruction. And then, there's the Amphibian Mudboat truck hybrid. Yes, you heard that right. Someone built a truck that can drive through the mud like a normal off-road beast, but when the pits get too deep, it literally starts floating. Fitted with massive air-filled tires, a waterproofed engine setup, and propellers attached to the rear, this thing can cross water like a swamp buggy. Watching it transition from land to water is one of the wildest things you'll ever see, and it's a perfect example of the creativity that comes out of Rednecks with Paychecks. One of the craziest builds in recent years was the Monster School bus conversion. Someone decided that a regular truck wasn't enough and turned a full-size school bus into an off-road juggernaut. The entire thing was lifted to absurd heights, fitted with heavy-duty axles from a military vehicle, and powered by a turbocharged diesel engine capable of pulling itself through even the deepest bogs. The result? A school bus that doesn't just haul kids, it hauls through the mud like an absolute tank. But if you think that's wild, wait until you hear about the JetPowered Mud Truck. This is where things go from insane to completely unhinged. Someone actually strapped a jet engine to the back of a lifted truck and sent it flying across the pits. The raw power of a jet engine combined with giant mud tires created one of the most ridiculous, high-speed, and downright dangerous builds ever seen at Rednecks with Paychecks. It wasn't about slow crawling through the mud. This thing would blast through at insane speeds, kicking up dirt, water, and probably terrifying everyone nearby. Now, these aren't just show trucks. Every one of these insane builds has taken on the brutal courses, survived some of the deepest mud pits, and even competed in some of the most intense battles at the event. And while some of them may have been destroyed in the chaos, their legacy still lives on in Rednecks with Paychecks history. What makes these builds so unique isn't just the money or the parts, it's the people behind them. These aren't factory-made vehicles rolling off an assembly line. Every truck, buggy, or crazy hybrid at this event is a custom-built creation, designed with a mix of backyard engineering, trial and error, and sheer madness. The owners spend months, even years, modifying, upgrading, and testing their machines just to prove they can survive the most extreme conditions. And that's the beauty of Rednecks with Paychecks. It's not just about winning. It's about pushing limits, proving what's possible, and building something so wild that people will talk about it for years to come. The event isn't just a mudding competition. It's a showcase of creativity, raw power, and a little bit of craziness. So the next time you see a lifted truck rolling down the highway, just remember, it might just be on its way to becoming the next legend at Rednecks with Paychecks.